every single person should be judged based off of their actions and how they present themselves. I was recently just harassed by somebody about, oh, you claim to be an ally because you like yaoi or whatever. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm not a fucking ally. I don't know what the fuck that means, and that's stupid. You're not a country.
Let's go over to a streamer named Taylor Morgan. Now, Blabs, fill us in really quick. Who is Taylor Morgan, and why should I know?
Taylor Morgan is an Australian streamer. She became pretty popular a couple years ago because she was able to actually play a game, which is, you know, surprise, surprise for a woman. And she was actually able to hold her own. Like, she could shit talk. She would handle it. No problem. She'd be like, I'm going to fuck your dad and all these things. Yeah, Mazel's girl. He wishes. So she got really popular because she was good at gaming and she trash talk and she could basically hang with the guys.
So she's an Australian and she was playing. This clip that we're going to show us 25 million views over on X. Now, we actually, I don't, we're showing somebody else's clips. There's some pretty strong, coarse language in this. So I wonder what's going to happen here on YouTube, but I do think it's important to just share the entire context of it. Sav, have you seen this clip?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So Blabs, how about you read it in Blab's voice here? You can read as Morgan.
Okay.
Taylor Morgan here, and then we'll watch the clip.
Okay, so Taylor Morgan, I have never made a more desperate plea than what I'm about to say right now. At Riot Games, at Riot Support, I need you guys to fucking do something. I'm an incredibly strong person. Oh, not woman. And I have been streaming for a very, very long time. But absolutely nothing prepares you for someone saying this to you. The suspensions are not enough. Nothing will ever stop these men from acting this way until hardware bans go into play. They should never be able to play the game again. I know you hear us. I know you see us. If this goes unpunished, I am taking this as an active act from you that you do not give a single fuck about any of the women and minorities that play your game, and I will rally to boycott. This is just absolutely not on. There's a lot in here that I just want to...
Yeah, just please boycott it because clearly you can't handle the fucking game.
Oh, there's
just
more
please.
in there too.
All right. So here we go. This is the clip and that she's playing here, and we'll just kind of play it as is.
But you are literally just fucking all talk, bro.
Oh, be honest with me.
My ult's ready.
Do you know what rape feels like?
Kind of a rough start. What's that?
It's a fuck thing to say to a woman, I'll be real.
Yeah.
It's lazy. That's all it is to me. It's just fucking lazy.
All right, here we are.
No, I don't actually.
Well, do you want to know?
Are you saying you're going to rape me?
Because you're heading on the right path right now.
Are you saying you're going to rape me?
You're going on the right path for it.
Is that what you're saying?
Toxins going up.
It's not rape if I like it. Is it now?
No one walks away.
Hectic. Oh.
What a boomer.
So she ends her stream. Right.
But she ends in the most remedial way. It like took her 5 years.
But she smiles. She smiles when she does it. She doesn't Alt F4. Imagine not knowing Alt F4. She fucking task managers that shit because she's drawing it out. Yet she smiles right before, I think, when the screen goes blue. And some people might think that that's surprise. No, she knows that she just walked onto money.
Right. And I think it's very, very obvious to say that you probably shouldn't talk like that to really anybody, right?
No.
Let alone, whether it's woman or man, right? Just saying it's a horrible thing to say, horrible thing to threaten. But y'all have some, you as women in the video game space. Blabs, I'll go to your tweet in response to this. Go ahead.
So I said it's never okay to say this shit, but also men say important things to each other all the time. That being said, the mute button exists for a reason. You're in a man's space, expect to be treated as such, which is so true. How many times do you see guys say, oh, I'm gonna butt fuck you, blah, 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 blah. Like, how many people say, like, oh, I'm gonna go fuck your mom, oh, I'm gonna fuck your dad, like, guys say it all the time, but as soon as a woman who's in a man's space says it, I'm in trouble. You know, the mute button exists for a reason. Is it okay to say to a woman, no, he's wrong to say that. He took it a bit too far. I'm going to be honest. Don't say that shit. That's fucked up, man.
True equality is when a man can speak to a woman the exact same way as they would another man. And if you can't handle that equality, then what you don't want is equality, and what you want is a pedestal to be put on.
You know, this is pointed out in the chat by Zero E says this is not a minority issue.
No.
If you go back to her original tweet over here, she says, she says, I'm taking this as an active act from you that you don't give a fuck about any of the women and minorities that play your game. Like what? Like, I feel like that's one of the biggest takeaways from this. She's like, let's lump everybody together. And if you don't take X for me, then sorry, black people, sorry, Asian people, sorry, whatever, like,
well, they don't care about Asians anymore. Asians don't fit the narrative. So Asians are now white people, white men.
My fault.
Yeah.
But
that's the update.
I mean, it's a great point there, Zero E.
You know what she's not ready for? The amount of men who experience rape. I wonder if anybody responded to her with those statistics, because men have a pretty high statistic there.
No,
they're never ready to have that conversation.
And it's really funny. Sorry, Craig, but in that original tweet that she was like, oh, it's not okay, and she lumps in the minorities and everybody. And then if you disagree with her, she went and blocked you. Like, she blocked me at least twice now. She unblocked me last year. So she's an idiot. She's literally clout chasing.
So Shane O'Mac says there's video proof for doing this content, and we have that. This is in response to a post that Blabs has here, and it says she admitted he was unmuted for content. So let's kind of check this out real quick.
Hey, gaming, bro, this guy is an asshole. This guy's an absolute asshole. Like, I'm literally the only reason I have him unmuted. The only reason I have him unmuted is for content. Like, just, oh my god.
Yeah, because you can't make your own content because you're not clever enough, because all you do is repeat yourself. Holy shit. Imagine not being able to come up with witty stuff, and then on top of that, just constantly repeat yourself.
So her problem is that she kind of went like a downfall where she used to say all this trash shit, right? And no one said anything about it, right? She's like, I'm gonna go fuck your dad. Is that okay to say? Is it? Is that her dad, this person's dad, consenting it? But also she like went downhill because she, like I said, she used to do this trash talking, but she no longer does it anymore. So she's just a giant softie. And because she actually sucks at gaming now, she can't keep, like, she's not as good as she used to. She needs to think of some other way to go viral. And this is it.
That drives me crazy. That drives me crazy. That she's like, oh, I'm just getting it. I'm just going to listen to it for content. And then she gets the content and she goes, whoa, no.
Too much content.
Yes, I've been contented too hard.
Yeah.
That's right, Sav. You can make some weird noises. That's what she sounds like when she's contented too hard.
Content me harder, Daddy.
Yeah, that's what Taylor Morgan was saying. It's ridiculous.
See, she says daddy.
Yeah,
it's the first time that I've done that now, and I don't like it.
Well, she got, by the way, clip that, Labs, for a savvy intro.
God damn it. Nothing's sacred anymore.
Nothing is sacred ever. Wow. Do you feel that... Okay, it's obvious that y'all feel that game. This actually parlays further into a conversation here when it comes to women in the gaming space, and we're going to get to this Assassin's Creed story here. But I think this actually works great into your tweet, Sav. This is a tweet that came out from random X user here. Gaming is men's space. Boo, boo. Since when? Boo. Tomatoes. And they have these graphs here. Distribution of video gamers in the United States from 2006 to 2023 by gender. Okay, there's a few things to take away from this, right? Obviously, over 50% of video gamers are men, and looks closer towards 60%. But the trend has been you know, I'd say it's pretty consistent. If you were to look at that on a graph, I'd say it's a slight decline, but pretty consistent along the way. The one other interesting thing about this is that everything's men and women up until 2023. The slight little toenail right here of other/no answer.
But
Social. Yes, Black.
I have a question. These people are these people who identify as women, female, or are like they actual biological? Because you can literally just say I am a female, but you're a dude and vote female.
Listen, these are all wonderful questions, right? Wonderful questions that we need to get more answers to. And, you know, maybe that is something that we need to do here on the show as a service to the internet, is reach out to the ESRB and ask them about how they got their data, what video games these gamers are playing, right? Because we all know the whole idea of like Candy Crush, moms who are like my mom who plays these puzzle games, right? She's 75 years old, right? Like, is she really a gamer because she plays mobile phone games?
Mm-hmm.
No.
My grandmother is a hardcore player. She could go pro in Mahjong.
That's right. Man, hardcore
I
video
like
game.
that game.
Oh, you're a gamer.
Oh,
Congratulations.
yeah. I haven't played it in like 10 years, but yeah.
And then they have the breakdown, share of interest, and whatever. And, you know, that's fine. That's fine. But what's interesting was your response to this, Sav. And I would like you to read this in your own voice, because
Oh, dear.
I think you freaking nail it here. So fire away, Sav.
So let's entertain this. If we've got the representation and women were buying games in this split the whole time, why do existing franchises needed to change? They were clearly inclusive towards women, regardless of the game type, the genre, character cast, etc. Games were already appealing to both men and women this whole time. Otherwise, if women were offended or didn't like the existing content, they wouldn't be buying and playing games, correct? We'd see the trend reverse where there were less women in games, but that's not the case. Existing franchises since 2006 were clearly split very nicely between men and women. So why aren't new franchises being made? Why are the existing ones problematic? According to this information right here, women have always been around in gaming and got more into gaming, liking the way that the market was. Why did journos say, it's a man's space, there is no women? This graph very elegantly debunks that claim long before they came around in 2016. According to this, there were women and they were content because they didn't leave. In fact, the market only expanded. So why not let existing franchises be and instead create new ones to capture even more audiences? Clearly, everything was indeed fine, according to this person and their graphs. The point? You can't have it both ways. You can't claim a market needs to change to include women while also stating women were included the whole time.
How long does it take you to take their logic and just throw it right into a blender and destroy
30
it?
seconds.
Okay. There we go.
30 seconds. There is zero thought behind that post. I looked at her graph, I looked at her words, and then I looked at several of her responses, and I said, let's play a game.
I mean, that is absolutely fascinating. And, you know, if you continue down, you nailed it. You nailed it perfectly there. And, you know, I would respond to you, stop using such good logic here. And I think that's one of the most fascinating thing. You know, as you scroll down here on her original post, she has her women in video games Wikipedia and her charts from Statista, you know, which once again, where do they get this information from? Take up their sources with them, not me. Locking my replies. I simply do not care to argue over what is considered a game or not. Women will be in gaming spaces whether you like it or not. So if women scare you, tough luck. Once again, nobody has ever been scared of women in the video game space. But here we are locking things because we don't want to have a conversation about it. So here we are. I also love these. In the 90s, I played all the Donkey Kong Country games with my mom. It's like, you are a gamer. Congratulations. This one time you played the Donkey Kong games. Way to go, you know? I love it. I love it, Sav. And do you it's weird because we talk about how this is a you know, a man's space, a normal man's space all the time. Why do you think there's such a people are pursuing so much to to say that gaming is just as much for women as it is for men. Because if you've ever been to a video game convention, you know that it is not a 50-50 split. You know that it is not a 60-40 split. You know that it's not a 70-30 split. You can just keep on going. It's probably closer. If you look around a convention, it's probably 85-15, maybe, when it comes to male versus female.
It depends on the convention, I think, especially nowadays, especially with the rise of cosplay. And as much as people don't want to acknowledge this, but actually OnlyFans as well. It is a great marketing opportunity for certain women to be able to go and dress up as the characters live. But no, it's really odd because the only women who are making these arguments that, oh, it's a man's space. Oh, we have to make it safe for women. They clearly didn't play games, probably because they didn't realize they could think for themselves at a young age. Most of the girls who I've interacted with who say stuff like this, they were into Barbies because it was a girl's toy, quote unquote. They were into Hello Kitty, and there's nothing wrong with that. I was into those things, but my earliest memory just happens to be Doom and Duke Nukem. So I learned very early on that you can think for yourself and you can like things that are not necessarily just for you. So I don't know. They also come off as the type who made fun of guys who played video games in high school. And I think that to me is the most annoying part of it. I was made fun of heavily by other girls because I liked video games, but I never let that stop me. So I don't know. And now those same girls are like, oh, I like Pokemon. No, you fucking don't. Get out.
Get out.
Sorry. That's a whole nother thing, but
this is point. It says go down Artist Alley and there are more women. So here's the thing
yes.
about if you go down an Artist Alley, that's fine, right? And I get it. There are a lot of women, but here's the thing: those are most likely vendors, right? I think there's a big difference between attending a convention and selling at a convention, right? You're there to make money. It is your business going down Artist Alley and seeing the vendors there. I don't count that as attending, and
there's another part to that too. You're more likely to actually find women who are more willing to be front facing in their sales ventures as artists. Guys, yes, they'll do it, but they're not, like, it's not something they'd rather do. They don't get excited about selling at a convention in the same way stereotypically a woman might, because it's a front facing customer service position, which women will naturally excel at. Not to say that there's not men who aren't good at it. It just makes more sense. So.
Well, I think we're going to see, bringing it all the way back to this story with this streamer here. She, at the end of the day, she got what she wanted. She got the attention she wanted, and she played it like a fiddle. 25 million views over on X. I'm sure she's seeing a little bit of a traffic push to her Twitch account, and it is what it is at this point. So good
she's
for
also
her.
the same chick who was like, women who are toxic to other women are pathetic. So she's just a walking out.
I hate that stuff too. I just want to ramble for 2 seconds on this. If you have to pledge yourself to a group specifically for, oh God, you full screened me and I got nervous. If you have to pledge yourself to a group on blind attributes you can't change about yourself, you don't fucking care. And it says to me that you're a worthless individual. Every single person should be judged based off of their actions and how they present themselves. I was recently just harassed by somebody about, oh, you claim to be an ally because you like yaoi or whatever. And I'm like, no, bitch, I'm not a fucking ally. I don't know what the fuck that means, and that's stupid. You're not a country. I'm not at war. And I'm just going to support people who are totally dope and awesome. And if they happen to, be gay or trans or whatever the fuck, awesome. But I'm not going to pledge allegiance to some group of people that mean nothing. This whole fucking sisterhood shit. Oh, if you're toxic towards women, then that means you just hate women. No, I hate people like you who bitch about that kind of thing. Be cool to other cool people. And then, if somebody's being a bitch, it doesn't mean you hate them because they're a woman. You hate them because they're a bitch. Men are bitches too. Fuck. Oh, man. But, they can be bitches. This is equality.
Let's go.
I hate that stuff. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hated it when I was introduced to the concept of a sorority. Like, oh, don't you want to be around other women? No, I fucking don't.
Exactly.
Most women made fun of me. Why the fuck would I want to live with 50 of them who I don't even know, who are like, oh my God, do you want to go to Starbucks today? Oh my God, I have poli-sci today. Shut the fuck up. I don't care. I just want to play Call of Duty.
This is why I hang out with dudes instead of women for the most part, because they're either fake too, and I'm like, I don't need your ass.
Oh my God. I broke up with a guy because he stood between me and my Xbox one day in college. We were dating for 2 weeks. I was in the middle of a match. I was skipping class to do this. And he stood between me at a British accent. That's why we were dating in the first place. And he stands there. He's like, we haven't been on a proper date. And I'm like, all right, well, proper, get out of my fucking dorm room because you just made me die finally. Fuck. Never talk to him again. I'm sorry. Anyway, ramble.
I love it. I love it. Wow. So it's funny. It's funny you say that because there's so many terms that, like, when you say, oh, she's a bitch, right? As you said, men can be bitches too. I've known many bitches. You know, it doesn't matter if you have a dick or not. You're still a bitch.
Why are we traveling with the bitches?
Craig's like, I too have met many bitches in my life.
Yes. I mean, we all know that. We all know many men who are bitches.